Hello everyone, my name is Eagle-Eye42 and today I'm going to be doing a tutorial for how to skip World 4 in Splatoon. This is a really useful trick in the any percent speedrun of this game because it lets you skip doing 6 levels plus a boss fight and get straight on to the final world and pretty much just do the 6 levels there and then fight the boss there and beat the game. Saves around 20 minutes. Really useful. It is fairly difficult to do, and it's really precise. You get it pretty consistently after you get the hang of it. So after tons of practice, you should be able to get it pretty consistently. It's a really consistent trick. There are multiple ways to do this. I will only be showing one, which is the most consistent and the easiest of all the ways to do this trick. And it's also a slower way to do it. So I think it's around 10-15 seconds slower than the fastest trick. So let's get right into it here. You just come over here, you make sure you're aiming down and go into your ink. And then the line from your ink meter over on the side, where it bends to curve towards you, I like to put it right under that screw so it's lined up like this. And then you take your aimer and you aim it so the dot right here is lined up with this corner. Press X and move forward a little bit. And if you move forward too much, you will bounce off like that. So this is the hardest part of this trick. Like, when I was learning how to do this trick, the hardest part was definitely jumping, just doing the jump. The rest is pretty easy, just learning how to do the jump precisely every time. Like that. You'll end up in the ink like this. So then you want to line up parallel to the side with your aimer, hold forward, and see, right there I wasn't perfectly parallel, so you fall off. It's really precise. The good thing is you can retry it pretty quickly, so missing it once or twice isn't going to lose that much time in the end of things. I mean, it's bad to miss it, but it's not that big of a deal if you miss it once or twice. It's just once you start missing it a lot more, it starts losing lots of time. So, yeah, you get here, you move forward, you jump, and then you're up here, and you can go up to wherever you want to go. Now, it's pretty consistent when you do it this way. It just takes a really long time to get the hang of, but once you get the hang of it, it's super consistent. I wouldn't say it's easy once you get the hang of it. Like, I still fail this pretty consistently, and I practice this a ton, but like, the reason I'm making this tutorial is because when I was learning it, I was looking for plenty of tutorials on how to do it, and I couldn't find any. I saw like videos showing off the trick, but not really tutorial videos. And some of the videos showed off the other tricks too that I tried. Like, the other one's really weird. You like go from here and you jump along this corner and get up there. It's like, see, I've never done this trick. I've never been able to. I've tried, but you like jump around to the back onto a tiny little corner, and then you have like a tiny amount of time to jump back onto there, and you barely make it, and it's super hard. So I recommend, if you're new and you want to speedrun Splatoon, before you learn that version, that way you just go with this one because it's much more consistent and easy. It's just like, that's pretty fast too. It's only slightly slower when you do it like that. And then you can just go up to World 5, and if you didn't do the levels back there, the cutscene for World 5 never loads, so you skip a cutscene as well. But you can't just go straight up to the boss fight, and surprisingly the boss fight still loads. It doesn't check if you've done everything, it only checks the last level. So yeah, that's my tutorial here. So like, oh no, it doesn't check the last level, it checks all the levels in World 5. And then after you beat the game, you can't, the barrier blocking you from getting up here, which you're supposed to use like this thing, it's still there. So you can either just do the World 4 skip again if you want to get back here, or you can just super jump to one of the level openings, because you can do that. So, and also when you come over here, make sure, just be really careful not to fall off, like the edges here, until you've done one level. Because if you've done one level, then you can just super jump to it. But if you fall off before, like this, let's just say that you were going after a level, you fall off, you end up back in World 4, and you have to do the World 4 skip again, and that loses a ton of time and can kill runs, and has killed runs of mine in this game. So that's all I've got for today. Also, if you don't jump far enough, you just fall off and don't bounce off the thing. So that's how you know. Like, for right here, if you jump too far, you bounce off. If you jump too little, you just fall down. So, yeah. See you guys next time.